Hello everyone, very good evening to all. Welcome you all in the session of Oliveboard. I hope you all are fine and doing well. So those who are watching, please confirm my audibility and visibility so that I can start the session. Am I audible, visible? Clarity is good. Okay, everything is fine. So yes, today we have to start again a new unit, that is unit number 30 of module D. So what is the name of the unit? The compliance culture and GRC framework. So the whole unit, whole module is about the compliances. Okay, compliances, rules and regulations of a bank. Okay, internal aspect, external aspect, the laws, order, everything related to what compliances. So now in this session, in this unit, we have to talk about the compliance, its culture, its internal culture, and GRC framework, that is governance, risk, and compliance framework. See, now, so what is compliance culture? Okay, what is GRC framework? So let's discuss this. So compliance culture is, see, basically it tells about what it tells about the culture of the organization. Okay, workplace, whether people are following the compliances or not, they are following the proper law, order or not. Okay, the compliance culture, the compliance rules and regulations. So if your organization has good culture, good atmosphere, and then they have a good compliance culture. If the organization is not having the good, or you can say, atmosphere, internal people are not working good, okay, they are not following the guidelines, rules, and regulation, then the compliance culture is comparatively low in your organization. So before starting, so this is CAIIB selection batch. The classes you will be getting the classes in English also and in a mixture of Hindi and English also. So this is all in one course. So those who have not grabbed this opportunity, still there are chances. Okay, the you can say discount is going on, so you can enroll in this all in one course where you will be getting many different types of benefits. Now let's talk about the benefit. What are the benefits you will be provided? The 250 plus 5 classes of all the papers, ABM, PFM, ABFM, BRBL classes, in total 250 plus. Early morning and late evening sessions will be there. Basic concept clarity of each and every topic, and the preparation is now in a more advanced version. Daily live sessions will be there. The revision classes for clearing your doubts. So weekly live doubt sessions will be there. Now, extra benefits are what? 250 plus PDFs you all can download. There are sectional tests, mock tests of all the papers, numerical based tests, and 20 elective paper tests also. So please enroll now so to get all these benefits in one single roof. And it is a live batch. So don't worry if you have not watched the live. Okay, if you have not attended the live classes, still the recording is available. So you all can go and watch the recordings. It is available 24/7. So don't worry if you have not seen any live batch, live class. So please go quickly enroll yourself in this selection batch, that is all in one course. So we have discussed what are compliance culture. Now let's do here. So compliance culture is what basically the workplace, okay, the people who are working in your organization, okay, they're maintaining a group of people, okay, they are having their own culture. So compliance culture is basically if the environment is good, if everybody is following the rules and regulation, okay, they are following their norms, they are following ethical values. So definitely compliance culture is good in your organization. If nobody is following that, so compliance culture is not good in organization. So it can be defined as workplace behavior that naturally meets what ethical and legal norms. Compliance is related to the norms, okay, internal policies, external laws, the values, rules, regulation, and values are dependent on the organization. So if good ethics is being followed, they are following the moral values, okay, they are working, they are adhering to all the rules and regulations. So the culture will also be automatically good in the organization. Culture also provides the base. Foundation means the base that shape employee decision and movement. So, see, in organization, many different people are working. So, definitely their culture is also different. Their behavior will also be different. Their attitude, their way of thinking, their perception, their perspective, everything will different from one to another. Not no two individuals are same. There is one proverb that no two individuals are same. So they are there is differences, okay, they differentiate in every aspect. A strong compliance culture should ensure adherence to all fair practice codes, manage conflict of interest, treating customers fairly, okay, meeting their requirements, meeting clients requirements, delivering sufficient ethical customer service, efficient customer service products with the larger objective. So if the environment, internal environment is good, everybody is following the same things, then compliance culture is also good. So what are the benefits? What are the advantages of having a good compliance culture? So basically, if the compliance culture in the organization is good, definitely the goodwill will also be good of that bank, of that organization, of that institution. Okay, the customers will also win the trust of, you can say, the business will win the trust of the different customers. They will win the trust of the employees, the regulators, the clients. So this is just because of a good compliance culture. So it is important for banks and financial institutions to demonstrate a good compliance culture so that they can win the trust of customers, investors, stakeholders, shareholders, regulators, employees. So this can happen in many different ways. A good compliance culture can benefit banks in many different ways. Low organizational and individual risk. If the risk is low, definitely they will get more time to spend with their employees, to spend with their customers, okay, to spend with their organizational needs and demands. So there will be risk is less. So their efforts will be more towards organization, more towards organization. Now, reputational risk. So the goodwill risk is, or if it is low, the goodwill risk is low. So it will also create a good benefit to the compliance culture in the organization. The confidence of employees will also boost up. Okay, they will perform their jobs. They have a courage. They to take any kind of initiatives. They can attract. Okay, it helps in attracting and retaining the required talent and ensuring employees engagement. So definitely, if the culture is good, if the environment is good, so more people will come, will like to work in your organization because you know that okay, this organization is good. The reputation of this organization is very good. Like many people, they want to work in SBI. Why? Because it is what the largest public sector bank. Okay, the reputation of this bank is also good. Okay, the employees who are working in this bank are also good. So this is why this is just because of the reputation, just because of the compliance culture. Okay, improve transparency. So what happens? The transparency will also improve. Okay, information, data integrity has to be maintained. Customer integrity will is being maintained over here. It enables to take better decisions. A good relationship will be there between the customers, between the stakeholders, regulators, and different investors will come into your business. They will invest into your business so that your business may get a good valuation. The valuation will always be high if you have a good reputation, if you have a good compliance culture in your institution, in your organization. So these are the benefits of having good compliance culture. Now, what happens if there is a poor compliance culture? What will happen? The negativity. Now, what are the sign of poor culture? So if any bank or any business, if they only focus on the short term profitability, see, long term interest is more important rather than short term profitability. You have to focus more on long term and less on short term, because long term will contain what short term itself. If you will focus only on short term goals, so you will no longer achieve your long term goals. So rather, focusing on short term profitability, you should make your aim, you should make your goal to achieve your long term targets, long term goals. Then only you will get a goodwill in your, you will having a good reputation for your business. Okay, the compliance culture will be more, the relationship between the subordinate superior relations will also be good. So what are the sign of poor culture? Again, focusing on short term profitability, including personal interest rather than having organizational interest. If the personal interest take over, so there it is a sign of poor culture. Dominance of individuals in decision making forum and lack of challenge means only one person is taking the decision. So there is dominance of individual that only this person will take decision. Now, subculture which are not aligned with the organizational culture. What happens? Let's take an example. If two banks are merging together, okay, like PNB is merging under Bank of Baroda. Now, if the compliance culture of Bank of Baroda is very good, okay, the people are working in a very decent manner, they are following the rules, they are following the guidelines. But in the PNB members, okay, they are not adhered to the rules and regulation. If they are merging together, so definitely subculture will going to impact this. Okay, so if the subcultures are not properly matching to the different bank culture, so it will create a problem. It is a sign of what poor culture. So mergers and acquisition should also happen when there is a, when both the business is having a good compliance culture, then the merger is, it will take place in a very good way. Otherwise, it will create a problem. It will create a trouble between this Bank of Baroda, because PNB is having such kind of, you can say, people who are not following the rules and regulation. And if they will merge together, then Bank of Baroda will face difficulties with the PNB members. Now, creating internal control, risk management framework, and breaching them at will of short-term benefits. Again, what internal audit that takes place, okay, the internal control that takes place. We have seen in our previous classes that internal control is a part of internal audit. Okay, in internal audit we do internal control, but if for any reason if this happens, okay, the breach has happened, okay, or revoke has been done for the benefit of short term period, then it is a sign of poor culture. So we should always focus on our long term benefits rather than short term benefits. If there is any ineffective incentive structures, okay, vice versa, poor management of risk. So if the risk has not been properly managed, okay, market conditions are not good, we have not we have not made our banking or our organization dynamic, so it will create a lot of problems. So identification of risk is important, and then what we have to take different steps or methods to minimize those risks. The tendency to cover up of the problem rather than facing the problem, rather than working on the problem. If if there is tendency for any business that they only cover the problems, now this is very like for KYC. It is mandatory for every customer to do KYC. Okay, some banks are not following these rules. They are covering up their problems. Then this will create a sign of poor culture. Follow the market attitude. Employees are not encouraged or reluctant to speak out when they have concerns. So the organization should give powers to their employees that if any mishappening occurs, okay, if any fraudulent things occurs, so they should speak out. Okay, they should speak to the top leader. So these are what the poor sign of culture, sign of poor culture. Tell me, any doubt to anyone in any of these points? Now, in order to build a compliance program in any organization, these seven elements have to be followed. What are the elements? Okay, implementing all the written policies, all the process, the standards of conduct. Okay, these has to be implemented in order to build a good compliance program in any organization. So seven elements are most important. Right. Designating a compliance officer. So in every office, okay, in every business, there is a proper compliance committee, a compliance officer, proper training has to be provided. Okay, there should be effective lines of communication that who will report to whom. Clearly, in normal hierarchy says that every employee in an organization, they has to report to his senior person. So the lines of communication should be properly, clearly defined. Conducting internal monitoring, the proper internal monitoring and auditing process has to be conducted. All guidelines has to be followed. In case of fraudulent activities, in case of any kind of offense which has been detected, so it should be immediately solved. Corrective actions has to be taken. Then additionally, what we can do, we can manage the compliance risk. We know what type of risk may occur in our organization. So additionally, what the management of compliance risk is necessary. First, we have to identify, we have to assess, and finally, we have to move a step forward to mitigate all the risk which has been arised in the bank or in any department. Here, so these are the things, these are the elements that need to take care of when building any kind of compliance program. Committee should be there, proper training and education programs should also be provided, lines of communication should be clearly defined, that who will report to whom, proper hierarchy has to be maintained. Then, so these are what? These are all important elements for our building the compliance program. Now, again, a very important topic, that is GRC framework. What is GRC framework? See, before having GRC, G stands for governance, R stands for risk, and C stands for compliance. Okay. See, before before GRC framework, okay, they were having the separate department for governance, separate department for handling risk, and separate department for handling compliances for making maintaining compliances. Okay, so at the same time, what happens, multiple activities are taking place. Okay, and every activity are related to each other. In these activities are what, interrelated to each other. So what happens if these activities are happening at the same time? Multiple activities are taking place, same type of activities are taking place. Okay, there is duplication of efforts, duplication of activities, same activities are happening at two places. So in also to avoid this, what happens, for saving time, for saving energy, for saving effort of the person, okay, this framework was being established. And what is the name of this framework? That is GRC, governance, risk and compliance framework. So these activities are interrelated. We have found that these activities are interrelated to each other. So why to do in a separate places? So let's combine these things together and do at one place, and make it as GRC framework. Now, So governance is what GRC, that is related to policies, rules, frameworks a company creates to achieve a goal. Now, risk is what definitely in a business organization, in any banking sector, in any type of institution, risk will come. Now, identifying the relevant risk, assessing the most relevant risk, and working to minimize those risks in the organization. That is all the tasks related to risk and compliances. We are seeing that the whole module is related to the compliances, regulations, the laws, the guidelines that organization has committed to follow that. So governance again, it refers to the company's oversee. So basically what happens, okay, but before that, tell me any doubt to anyone over here. In governance, what happens, it overall, okay, reviewing process is done in governance, and it is done by the top management. So the top management handles all the situation, okay. They plans all the activities, they oversee all the operations, they manage risk, okay, they review the activities, and whatever the task, if they distribute task to different people. So that is what the governance refers to. The policies, rules, and regulations they have to make so that the other member they will follow and they will work in the same manner. So governance refers to the way companies oversee operations and manage risk. Active shareholders and stricter rules are there, so they have to pay more attention, okay, to governance than even before. So the corporate boards, the regulators, executives, so they have to pay closer attention to where to governance now. So it includes setting new rules, managing risk in the business, okay, ensuring that everyone is following the laws or not, everyone is following the rules and regulations or not. Is there a good balance between the internal members and the work or not, the task and the people or not? So they have to maintain what proper good scenario, good balance between every activity, and they have to oversight all the operations. So this includes using tools like balanced scorecard, risk scorecard, dashboards, so to track the progress of the organizations effectively. Now, risk is what again? Risk management. So risk, they in every organization there are risk managers. So what is the work of those risk managers? First, they have to identify the risk. What are the risks that are happening in our organization? Once they have identified, then they have to assess the risk. Which risk is most harmful for our organization? Okay, suppose there are 10 risks that are in the organization. Okay, operational risk, liquidity risk. Then you can say uh, country risk, currency risk, exchange risk, many different types of risk are there. Now, those risks which are very much harmful, they have to assess and they have to mitigate also, that is minimize also. Last option is to mitigate. So they help organization identifying and valuing the risk from both business side and from regulations. They also ensure that how to reduce this risk. They take action to manage them. Okay. And a good risk management process will help companies, okay, to mitigate those risks, to minimize those risks, to handle the risk, no matter how much the company is the large, short, where the company's location is. If there is good manager, good risk manager, then definitely they will manage every risk of the company. So this was the risk. Now, again, compliances are what it makes sure an organization has the right process, right rules and regulations they are being following or not. Okay, the proper action has to be taken if no compliances is being followed. Penalty has to be charged. Okay, then organizations need to understand that they need to make a good regular process. Okay, they have to report everything to the top authority rather than focusing on their deadlines, on their targets. Okay, they also have to focus what on moral values, their ethics, their legal actions, everything. That is compliance. Next is whistleblower mechanism theory. So this is very important whistleblower. Okay, every in every attempt, one question comes from whistleblower. Now, see, what is whistleblower? It mainly means to alert, okay, someone from something. It mainly means to alert someone from something. Right. Like suppose if in an in business organization, if any kind of fraudulent activities are being conducted, any kind of frauds are being done, okay. So to create an awareness, okay. So to create an alert, create an alarming, okay, the opportunity. So whistleblower has given what the whistleblower has given the opportunity that they can directly reach to the top management in case of any kind of fraudulent activities they have seen, or they have been came across any kind of scam, any kind of bad circumstances, so they can directly report to whom? They can directly report to the top authority. So normal hierarchy says that every employee has to report to its senior person, but in case of fraudulent activity, so whistleblower has given the chance, okay, the one who uh, uh, keep the alert with the whistle, okay, by blowing whistle, that is whistleblower. So they can directly reach to the top authority. So the company gives freedom and allows employees to report, telling the management about the fact, all the unethical, immoral, or illegal work. So what are its objective? To give employees, vendors, contractors, okay, they can raise their concern against any wrongdoing done by the company, to protect the employees against retaliation due to whistleblowing policy. The company is committed for doing business in ethical ways. So basically, what are the unethical things are happening in the business? Unethical, immoral activities, illegal work which are happening in the business. And if anybody finds that, so he has given what a whistleblower that they can directly reach to the top level authority, and uh, they can put all their facts in front of that top level authority. So, whistleblowing policy is a crucial policy which gives stakeholders the liberty to raise concern. So, with this policy, they can raise concern against any suspected illegal activity. This is very important, and definitely questions will come in coming, okay, exams also. So that's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed the session. If you have enjoyed the session, kindly like the video and share it with others as well. We'll meet you in tomorrow's session, okay, with another new unit of ABM. First, we will do ABFM 8:30 to 9 p.m. and from 9 to 9:30 we will continue our ABM. So till then, take care, everyone. Good night. Keep studying, keep watching, and we'll meet you tomorrow at the same time. Bye bye, everyone.